Hey everybody, so today I'm here with an oldie but a goodie. I'm here to do a 5-star prediction video. I haven't done this one in ages. Inspired by the amazing Mercedes here on BookTube. You know her, you love her. I am going to do this video and I'm going to talk about books that I hope that you may have not heard of, but I think are going to be 5-star reads for me. So let's get started. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you all doing today? As always, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're safe, and of course, I hope you're reading an amazing book, or 2, or 3, or 4. I am here to talk about possible 5-star reads. Now, you all may remember Mercedes did this a few years ago. She started this thing called 5-star predictions, and it blew up. We were all doing it. Everyone was involved. We were watching each other's videos, and it was freaking-tastic. And I just saw a couple more of these pop up in my feed, and I was like, why haven't I done one of those in a while? They are so much fun. So that's what I'm here to do for you today. I will say that it was hard to pick books that I thought, because I always want everything to be a 5-star read, because I want all books to be as brilliant as they absolutely could be. But these are books that really are speaking to me, and I just think the topics, the work, the writers, what I've learned about them, they're really going to be 5-star reads. And they, I will tell you right now, are not the books that are on everyone's lists. These are definitely books that are like my channel, full of books that you probably have heard of or maybe not heard of, and I'm here to tell you all about them. So get out that pen, that paper, that Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. If you are so able, please order these books from your local independent bookstore. You know they need you more now than ever. And also, if you're a library user, get your library to get you a copy as soon as possible. So I have 6 books, and I'm going to start with a cheat, because I'm going to start with a book that I'm over halfway through, and I am super excited about it, and I want to make sure that it is on your radar. And that is Nuclear Family by Joseph Hahn. This is out from Counterpoint Press. Now, Joseph was just awarded a 5 Under 35 award from the National Book Foundation. And yeah, so congratulations, Joseph. A Korean American currently living in Hawaii. He is family immigrated there himself, and you will find a lot of that story here in Nuclear Family. This is the story of the Cho family. They live in Hawaii. The Chos own a chain of restaurants on the island. I believe they're on Oahu. I'm not exactly 100% sure now that my brain is going, but they own this this restaurant chain, and they were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri. That conversation in and of itself is worth reading this whole book. And they were very popular. They do a lot of business. They're very well, doing well. The dad has aspirations of expanding. The mom is not as involved in the day-to-day. We find out that she's, suffering from some health issues. The daughter is in college. She escapes sort of the everyday through a lot of marijuana use at times. And then we have the son, who is dealing with his own sort of coming out story, who has decided to go to Korea, South Korea, in order to teach English. And when he gets there, he actually winds up running into the ghost of his grandfather. His grandfather, who's been estranged for the family for some time, has been for decades trying to pass the DMZ from South Korea to North Korea. Just as a funny aside, I tried to film this video earlier and I kept saying North Carolina and South Carolina. So there you go. But he's in South Korea, and he starts to sort of he's able to see ghosts. He sees his grandfather, and his grandfather is involved in his life. And the event that happens at the beginning of this book, nothing that I've said is not already said in sort of the cover blurb, is that he is seen on the news trying to run through the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, and he is shot, and he is in the hospital, and of course he's being investigated, and that act changes the fortune of the entire family. and you find out more and more on why and how and all of that kind of stuff. And the book is so good because it goes from all these different family perspectives, from grandparents to great grandparents to the children to the parents to all of these different views to get all of this very dynamic situation. And how this affects the Cho family it's heartbreaking at times, but it also is just really powerful in the story it's telling about not only the immigrant experience, but also the conflict between North and South Korea, and all of that. It's really, really good. It's a challenging read. It definitely has made me think. I have to slow myself down, but it's like very, I don't know, it's immersive and beautifully written. Very much a fan so far. So that's Nuclear Family by Joseph Hahn, out from Counterpoint Press. Now, that one is the one I can talk about the most because I'm halfway through it. So that was a little bit of a cheat. The next book that I want to tell you about is Avalon by Nell Zink. This is out from Knopf. How fun is this little cover? This is the story of Bran. She lives in Southern California, and it's in a very unique way of being brought up. So she's in a Buddhist colony that is... her mom actually joins a Buddhist colony. Yes, her mom joins a Buddhist colony, so she's being raised by her sort of pseudo-common law stepfather at a farm plant nursery that's really just a cover for a biker gang. And she spends her days, dealing with plants and slogging through high school and all of that kind of stuff. And she starts sort of this long-distance relationship with this man who is going to college to become a college professor. And he sort of starts to bring her into the world of literature and aesthetics and all of that. And, their relationship is going to have a lot of ups and downs. It's going to be very volatile. But really, Bran, as a young woman, is sort of just searching for meaning in her own surroundings while all of this is going on. This book sounds like it's going to be quite funny, but very poignant. And you may know Nell Zink. She wrote Doxology that was out a few years ago now. So yeah, I'm super excited about this one. I love sort of a coming of age with a twist. So that's Avalon by Nell Zink, and this is out I think it's either out right now or coming out very, very soon from Knopf. Okay. The next book that is actually out right now is the second book in a series that, if you watched my wrap-up video a couple videos ago, I raved about the first one. So I'm going to tell you about the Merciless ones by Namina, Forna, and this is out from Delacorte Press. I loved the first book in this series. So this is a book that takes on creates a world that is very patriarchal in the start. And young women in the world were originally tested, and their blood was tested. And if it was normal red blood, they were sort of allowed to become sort of almost servants within this society. But if they had gold blood, they were thought to be demons, and they were killed. And our main character has gold blood, but she is recruited to be part of a force that is, in the first book, there to defend this country against an invading force. We find out in the first book that there is a lot to why this world is the way it was, and women have been suppressed for a reason. Even goddesses have been suppressed, and what all of that means, I'm not going to get into it. And at the end of book one, a big battle has happened, and book two goes on to what happens next. I highly recommend book one. I'm so excited for book two. Book one was an absolute 5-star read for me, and I cannot wait to see what goes on in this series next. So YA readers, if your children are YA readers, whoever you know that likes YA fantasy, fantastic world building, great characters, great story, highly recommend this series. And this is book two, The Merciless Ones by Namina, Forna. Whenever I look at this, I always want to say her name wrong, and I have to stop myself and think for a minute, but I really enjoy her books. The next book I'm going to tell you about is a bit of nonfiction, and that is Under the Skin by Lydia Villarosa, The Hidden Toll of Racism on American Lives and on the Health of Our Nation. This is out from DoubleDay. It is coming out on June 14th. I'm just going to read you the back because Nonfiction is a little bit more difficult for me to summarize, but it says in 2018, Linda Villarosa's New York Times Magazine article on maternal and infant mortality among Black mothers and babies in America spurned an awakening. Hundreds of studies had previously established a link between racial discrimination and the health of Black Americans, with little progress towards solution. Villarosa's article exposing the Black women with a college education is as likely to die or nearly die in childbirth as a white woman with an 8th grade education made racial disparities in healthcare impossible to ignore. Now in this book, she lays bare the forces of the American healthcare system and an American society that causes Black people to live sicker and die quicker compared with their white counterparts, a pattern we've seen repeated in the COVID-19 epidemic. So I think that's going to be really, really fascinating. I'm probably going to be horrified, and my eyes are going to be open to so much that I did not know. And, it's just another way for me to educate myself and see what I can do to change the world around me. So that's Under the Skin by Linda Villarosa. And this is The Hidden Toll of Racism on American Lives and the Health of Our Nation, out on June 14th from DoubleDay. Okay. The next is actually 2 novellas that I read about, I think, in Publishers Weekly, and Norton was so kind to send me this beautiful finished copy. And this is Midair, 2 novellas by Victoria Shorr. And I want to say that these novellas, when I describe them to you, could not be more different, but I have a feeling I'm going to realize how similar they are once I'm done. So the first one is a family story called Great Uncle Edward. He is 93 years old. He resides over this family. He commands the table, like he's all dressed up, you know who he is. And it's about that family. There's a cousin who is, he's gone to Yale, he's gone to Harvard, but he's now just selling the family books to get by. We have a set of sisters who are sort of caught between the ghosts of the pasts and the creeping towards destitution that's coming for this family, and as that sort of spiral. So that's novella number 1. And novella number 2 is called Cleveland Auto Wrecking, where we meet Sam White, who is an immigrant from Eastern Europe. He can't read. He has a gift for math and sort of finding things and the value of junk, and sort of how he gets through the Depression and post-war boom in the West. I just think it sounds really interesting. I haven't read a lot of books that just come as a dual novella, like a duology. I'm interested to see how Victoria brings that all together. So that's Midair, 2 novellas by Victoria Shorr. This is out from Norton. Last but not least, is a book that sounds like it's going to be a rip-roaring good time in a lot of ways, but also like a mystery, also like a thriller with a bit of sort of fantasy. Let me tell you about The Change by Kristen Miller. This is out from William Morrow. This comes out this month in May. Let me see if I can, doesn't say the exact date. So this is about 3 women that are going through menopause. And as they go through menopause, they each get another power, a magical power. And what they have decided to do is use that magical power to solve the crime of a murder of a young girl that sort of has been washed under, sort of swept away as one of the, and they've decided to use their new powers to to solve this crime. And it says, guided by the voices only Nessa is one of the women can hear, the trio of women discovers a teenage girl whose body has been abandoned beside a remote beach. The police have written the victim off, but the women refuse to buy into the official narrative. Their investigation leads to more bodies and to the town's most exclusive enclave, a world of stupendous wealth where the rules don't apply. With their newfound powers, Joe, Nessa, and Harriet will take matters into their own hands. And let's see, Harriet is I can't remember their exact powers, but there's Harriet, there's Joe, and there's Nessa, and I think that sounds fantastic. So I love that they're going to be doing this murder mystery. I love that they go through menopause and they get these powers. I love everything about it. I want it to have a little tongue-in-cheek, but I also want it to be like a driving thriller narrative, and I'm super, super excited about it. So it's The Change by Kristen Miller, out from William Morrow. So I think that's only, I can actually hold this stack because it's small. This is 6 books that I am pretty sure all of these are 5-star reads. And I hope that you'll pick up one of them for yourself and they'll be a 5-star read for you as well. As always, I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Bye, everybody.